So what is endurance testing? In in some cases, endurance testing is another name for soak testing in some context. But in some other context, people will say endurance testing is the idea of extensive soak testing. Imagine your normal case is 1x, let's say 100 users, and then soak testing is doing 200 users for 5 hours or 8 hours. Or the endurance testing is pretty much on the combination of, in a practical scenario I'm giving from my experience. Endurance testing is doing a spike test with soak testing. So for a longer period of time you fluctuate the different type of spikes and stress into the system. So you do the same performance test or load testing for 8 hours or 24 hours period, and within that period you have a 3x threshold, 300 users per second threshold, and then you will be keep spiking below and above the spire, above your threshold. 200 then goes to 350, then go back to 200, then goes to 0, and then you leave it for no request for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So you actually fluctuate this soak testing and load testing and stress testing models that will give you a different level of information about your system. So all of this performance test is to identify how your system behaves in different variated stress levels. So you have to identify at what level it breaks and what level it start through errors, at what level it slows you down. So those are all the areas you find it out. If you are doing it in 100 users per second for the same thing, you might be excluding the outliers or small informations happening. Most of the time what you would be getting is a very clear, very sophisticated small set of information. But in practice, in real time, that might not be happen. So you wanted to figure it out, different variations. You wanted to try all possible combinations. So the more time you take, more time you try more variations within that given time. That's what endurance testing will gives you. The results, pretty much you might be getting a similar kind of results, something like so what is your time varies based on your times. So how do you define this endurance testing? When you are defining the endurance test, you also need to be very careful and record everything possible. Are you doing a spike? Are you doing how many requests you are happening, how many requests you are sending, and how many responses on the way back? So if you record more information, the more you record, the more information you get. From the information you gain the knowledge. From the knowledge you can find out what are all our bottlenecks, how to fix it, how to identify. So the endurance testing idea is to do a fluctuated performance test, including stress, load, spikes, soaking, all these things for a longer period of time. That is what called as endurance testing in performance test.